Questions and Answers with the Prince of Macedon.
Hi guys, Alex here, and I'm going to do a little questions and answers video session with you guys. Before I do that, let me give you a quick update on what I've been up to. Not really a whole lot. As you guys know, Halloween is coming up really soon, about a week and a half. I don't know if I'll have time to film any Halloween things like I have the past 2 years, but I'm gonna try to. No promises though, but I'm pretty busy next week. But I definitely love, the whole Halloween festivity thing, majig. And oh, actually, let me try to get in the mood. Let me put my costume on here. I am Napoleon, and I, Napoleon, have been getting some movies to kick off the Halloween festivities with some scary style movies. I mean, I don't get scared by movies. That kind of scared me though. Hold on. I got a bunch of movies here. Stuff that, that kind of gets you in the mood for Halloween. Let's see. I haven't watched any of these yet. Oh, except for this one. Hold on. This one, I saw this movie a long time ago, Beetlejuice, but I never owned the DVD. Oops. I think there's a ghost moving my camera phone there. But I figured this is a great movie, though. It's really fun. Tim Burton. But I've already seen this. I just bought it again, but I've never... Well, I didn't buy it again. I bought the movie, but I never owned it. Great movie, by the way. So, let me show you the movies that I bought in honor of the upcoming Halloween festivities. I got Wolfman. It stars Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins. It's supposed to be like a... like a reimagination of the Universal classic Wolfman. I would say out of all the old classic monster movies, I would say Wolfman and Dracula are my favorites. Frankenstein's cool, and so is a Mummy, but I prefer Wolfman and Dracula. As you guys know from my last Halloween video, one of my favorite horror movies is 30 Days of Night. So I found out there was a direct to video release of the sequel to that movie called 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. I've heard many bad things about this movie, but I bought it anyways. But I love the first movie so much that, I'm gonna watch it anyway. It's only $8, so whatever. I got this movie called The Raven, and it stars John Cusack. He plays Edgar Allan Poe, and supposedly there is this serial killer, and he's using Edgar Allan Poe's stories to inspire his killings. I really want to see this. Paranormal 3. I've seen the first two Paranormal... This ghost is really starting to annoy me. The ghost who keeps moving my camera. Paranormal 3. I've never seen this, but this is supposed to be the two girls from the first two movies. This is them as children. This is how the hauntings began. Insidious, I heard this is supposedly one of the best possession-style movies. I've never seen it, though. I saw it on sale at Target, so I want to give this movie a try. Okay, I've already seen this, Shaun of the Dead, but I just didn't own the DVD, so yeah. This belongs with Beetlejuice. I've already seen these, but I just bought them. Okay, this too, I've already seen The House on Haunted Hill. I prefer the classic Vincent Price House on Haunted Hill, but I bought this one just because it has Return to the House of Haunted Hill, which I haven't seen. So, half and half. I've seen half of this DVD set, and I haven't seen the other half yet. It looks pretty bad, though. Okay, I've seen I Am Legend already. I just didn't own the DVD. Sorry. Scream 4. I have not seen this movie yet. I heard it was really good, though. Like, I know the Scream series is really cheesy, but I wanted to buy it just because. Ah! Here's another one. I've already seen this movie. I saw this when I was a kid. It's called Something Wicked This Way Comes. I remember this movie being really, really trippy. So, I want to see this. It's actually presented by Disney. And I remember this guy being really creepy. Let me see what his name is. Well, I don't know. But I love this movie. Really gets me in the mood for Halloween. And I saw this movie at Big Lots. I know, it's cheaper than Kmart, but sometimes if you want to find cheap DVDs, you can go there too. It's called Windchill. It stars Emily Blunt. And I haven't heard anything about this movie. But it's got Emily Blunt, and she is really hot. I totally, you know. Oh, look at that! The freaking ghost doesn't want me to be seen in my vlog here. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so let's do these questions and answers. Let's take off this ridiculous hat, because it's not Halloween yet. What do you guys think? Should I be Napoleon for Halloween, or what? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't shaved yet. I can see it. I'm gonna shave tomorrow morning, though, when I wake up. Okay, so let's do these questions and answers here. I'll just pick a few of them. I can't answer all of them, because, I'm lazy. Let's see here. Let's go find the start of these questions here. I'm looking at my my YouTube page, by the way. This YouTube page I'm looking at. All right, when and why did you become interested in ancient history? This question is from Klepto475, and I know there's another similar question here. When and why did I become interested in history? I would say it was around the 5th or 6th grade I became interested in history. That's when we started learning about the ancient Greeks. Like, first, I got really interested in the Spartans and the Athenians during the Peloponnesian War. When I first got interested in history, I was first interested in the Spartans and the Athenians. But later on, we actually passed through Alexander the Great, and that's when I really, really became interested in history. And one of the first history books I bought, this is when I was a little kid, I bought the Campaigns of Alexander, and I was like, dang, this guy's awesome. And so I read that book. I really liked it. And some of the other early books I bought was The Art of War. I read that when I was a kid. Okay. So that's how I became interested in ancient history, and when that was when I was a kid, 5th or 6th grade maybe. All right. So the next question comes from 2BC Battlefield. Will you be playing the newest XCOM game anytime soon? Maybe give some Let's Play. Well, I don't think I'll be playing that game, but my friend, my YouTube friend, the Stalinator plays that, and I'll just put a link to his channel so you can find his Let's Plays for XCOM, and he does a really good job. Like, the Stalinator, he's one of the best people when it comes to making Let's Plays, because he plays a whole variety of games. Like, everything you guys asked me to do, he pretty much does them all. He does mods, he does campaigns, and he does all these other games. He does a lot of them. And he's a really cool guy. And I'll just put the link in the video description, and I'll try to put a link in my video too, if I'm not too lazy. Alright, next question comes from... this one's from Cap M Films. If you would have to be a soldier during the time of Julius Caesar or Alexander the Great, what would you be? And have you seen the new RTW2, that's Rome Total War 2, battle gameplay video? Yes, guys, one of my favorite games in life is Rome Total War, so obviously I'm paying very key attention to any developments in Rome 2 Total War. I'm hoping that game replaces Rome Total War as my most played game. And first part of this question is, if I had to be a soldier during the time of Caesar or Alexander the Great, what would I be? Well, if this was during the time of Alexander the Great, I'd definitely be part of the companion. Like, just being on horseback is just amazing. I remember riding horseback in the mountains in the Philippines, and it was pretty awesome. I also rode horseback, where was it? It was, might have been Ohio. I forgot where, but, it's crazy. You're not going that fast on horseback, but it feels like you're like, whoa! And during the time of Caesar, I would also be a horseman. Mr. Jeffrey Frank, is this where I post the questions? Yes. Next part of his questions, hopefully, what inspired you to start making Total War videos, and what inspired you to play the games in the first place? And would you rather fight one elephant-sized war dog or 100 war dog-sized elephants? Okay. So, what inspired me to start making Total War videos? Well, when I first started playing multiplayer games again. I think that was StarCraft and Worms Armageddon. Well, when I was watching StarCraft, I knew there were a lot of players who made commentary. They called them VODs, VODS, and I thought those were the coolest things ever. And you know, I wanted to do my own thing, so I went out and I found a game that appealed to me. Like, I love StarCraft, but I wanted a game that appealed to me in terms of everything. Like, I love history, so I found out about Rome Total War from a coworker. And when I found out that no one made commentaries for Total War, I decided, hey, I can be the first one to make commentaries, and hopefully other people would follow in my footsteps, so that I can see commentaries by them too. So basically, I just wanted to kickstart Total War commentaries, and I was hoping that it would catch on with other people, and you can be the judge. A lot of people are making commentaries for Total War now, and I'm pretty happy about that. And whoops, sorry, I forgot about the last part of his question. And would you rather fight one elephant-sized war dog or 100 war dog-sized elephants? Well, actually, Alexander the Great has a quote similar to this situation, which would apply to this. Alexander the Great is supposedly, well, he was supposedly to have said that I do not fear an army of lions led by a sheep, but I do fear an army of sheep led by a lion. And that means he's more fearful of the one in charge of the army, not so much the soldiers. So in this instance, I would say that an elephant is less aggressive than a war dog. Like, sure, if an elephant feels threatened, then it'll charge, but you have to really threaten an elephant in order to get him to charge you. Whereas a war dog, you know, a dog specifically trained for war, he's actively seeking battle. So I guess I will take the Alexander the Great route, and I would rather fight 100 war dog-sized elephants. Alright, next question comes from Gly Glue, and I've already answered this question. It says, when did your interest in history start? Sorry for the bad English. Well, I answered that in the first part of this video, but as I said to the other guy, it started in the first, it started when I was in the 5th or 6th grade, when I started reading about the Spartans and the Athenians, and later Alexander the Great. Okay, 0xx Cabal XX0. What's your occupation, and do you have a girlfriend? Well, you don't have to know everything about me. I do have 2 jobs. And do I have a girlfriend? Not at the moment. Last time I had a girlfriend was about a year ago. Since then, I've had many dates, and Alright. And the next question is from the same guy. And which race would you most likely date? Well, I don't... How do I answer that question? Let's just say this. I love redheads. So, okay. Next question. The Dink Cool, he asked, what shampoo do you use? I'm not really picky, but when I really want to plump it up, I use Herbal Essence. Actually, I just read that on the back. It's kind of funny. It says, I'll plump you up. I don't understand why they say that. Alright, next question comes from Commando BRMZ, and he has a lot of questions here, so I'm just going to answer a few of them. What is one place of historical significance that you would like to make a trip to? I'd like to go to Greece. That's actually the next place I have on my agenda. I'd like to go to northern Greece and visit the Palace of Pella, or what remains of it. And I'd also like to see the surrounding area and just see where Alexander the Great was born. And I'd also like to go down to Athens to see the Acropolis. And where else did I want to go to in Greece? Well, Crete, of course. You know, supposedly where the Minotaur was underneath and all that. What is your favorite Rome depicted film and book? That's a good question. Well, my favorite Rome depicted TV show would be Rome, HBO's Rome, because it has Julius Caesar in it, and I think the first season did an excellent job of portraying Julius Caesar. Favorite book? Maybe Julius Caesar's commentaries on the Gallic War would be my favorite. Okay. Alright, there's a lot of questions about Rome 2 Total War. Let's just say that I will always keep up with everything that's Rome 2 Total War related, so yeah. What's the first thing I would do if I had Rome 2 Total War? I would go immediately online and just play. I wouldn't bother with tutorials or playing single player. Whenever I buy a Total War game, I jump straight online just to play online against humans. What do you know about Bulgarian history? That's a big question, my friend. My favorite Bulgarian soccer player is Ristov Stoichkov, that's his name. And I actually saw him play in Tampa because he used to play in the MLS. And it was cool seeing this guy play, and I actually saw him score a goal, and that guy's awesome. Let's see here. Nails parts. Yeah, a lot of these questions are Rome 2 Total War related. What are my thoughts on the game? Well, it looks amazing, but I'm gonna have to buy a whole new computer just to play that game, because my current computer, which is a Cybertron Spartan, is not. Well, you can't upgrade it that much. You can't add any more RAM to it, I don't think. And I want more RAM. I want different slots for the video card and whatnot. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a new computer to play Rome 2 Total War. It looks amazing, but my current configuration is not good enough. It's already my current configuration cannot play Empire Total War and Napoleon Total War on the highest setting, so I don't like it. ComAntNeLib asks, you won't vote for Romney, right? Well, if truth be told, I am a registered Republican, but that said, I actually hate Obama and Romney equally. I think these candidates for this election are the worst I've ever seen in my life. More Rome 2 Total War questions, guys. Alright, Scarlet Crusade 77 asks, what do you think the world would be like if America never revolted and stayed with Britain? Well, if we never revolted and stayed with Britain, I think we'd be like Canada. My question for the Q&A, this is from Andy Elephant 1999. What were the top 3 ways you learned so much history, especially in ancient era? Examples I'm looking for are books. Well, I learned it from books. My first history books I ever bought outside of school were The Campaigns of Alexander and The Art of War. Those are my first 2 books I ever bought. And, yeah, learning through books is the way I learned history. Documentaries are good, but documentaries are so simplistic that they leave out so many details, but there's still a great way for you to get interested in history. Alright, Dafer44 asks, sweet or salty? Probably, I don't know, because with salt, that increases your, I don't know. I'd say salty, but this seems, I don't know, if you eat too many sweets or too much salt, it's bad for you either way. Probably salt, because with French fries, I love salt. I wouldn't dip my French fries in chocolate. Alright, let's see. Ah, there's more. 2 more questions here. Alright. Varin6398. Hi, Prince Alex. As we all know, you are really interested in military history and various strategy-based games. When you were younger, not saying you're old, what did you aspire to be, and in what ways have you achieved that today? Not all these wild dreams that you had when you were really young, more the things that you thought about in high school. For me, it's secondary school. I'm British. And later in university. Also, when did you start thinking about YouTube commentaries? I already answered that question, so I will not get an answer to that one. Let's see here. I have to reread this question. We all know you're interested in military history. When you were younger, what did you aspire to be? What did I aspire to be? When I was a kid, I aspired to be a doctor or a lawyer. When I got into high school, what did I aspire to be? Like an actor, perhaps? How did I achieve that today? Well, when I can, I try to do acting when I can. And with my YouTube videos, I can make little stupid videos. Sometimes it requires acting. I like to do a campy, cheesy acting. You know, stuff that's over the top, just to make people laugh. Next question comes from WRH900. I'll just call him Dub. Dub asked this question. Okay, this is going to be a complex, hard, thought-out question. If the world went into nuclear warfare and everyone perished except you in the USA, but you came across a radio frequency that had a broadcast from survivors in Uzbekistan, they invited you to stay with them if you could make it, but the only things you had in possession was one fully energized battery, a ball of string, a sack of potatoes, 3 bottles of spring water, and a refrigerator with a large bullet hole in it. How would you make it to Uzbekistan and create a new life there? The water level is also highly concentrated with radiation to make sea travel harder. Oh. Dub, what kind of question is this? Let's see here. Well, with the current amount of supplies that I had, I could not make it over there because 3 bottles of spring water is not enough to be traveling overseas. Because you can go without food for a few days, but if you go without water for a few days, you're gone. Like, water it's more essential than food is, in terms of how long you can go without it. So, my first order of business would be to find a place that was not affected by the radiation. I mean, something that's not in the immediate blast radius of a nuclear bomb. So, where in the USA would I go that wouldn't really be targeted? That would be out of the blast radius? Well, you could go to a place like South Dakota, Kansas, maybe Iowa, because there's a lot of places there that would probably be out of the blast radius. So I would just stay out in the boonies. I'd go from Florida and go to the Midwest, find a place that wasn't, immediately affected, and then I would find a water source there. I could find like a well. Maybe I could test out the radiation levels, and I would get myself a new supply of water. So if I'm going to Uzbekistan, gee, that'd be kind of tough. It's really far. But I would have these guys on the radio talking to me. If I was in the Midwest, what could I do? I could keep going to the west. Maybe I could go through Canada to Alaska. From Alaska, I know I'd be freezing my butt off, but I can go from Alaska to Russia, and then travel down. I guess the hard part's going from Alaska to Russia. It'd be really cold up there. But if I got a new supply of water and food supply, I could make it. I could build myself a boat. I could modify my refrigerator, make the refrigerator the centerpiece of a boat, go to Russia via Alaska over the sea, freeze my butt off, find Uzbekistan, and then I could hang out with a bunch of Uzbekistan people. That'd be awesome. We could ride on horseback and tell stories about how we have nothing in common. The fifth asks, do you know anything about Scandinavian? I own a lot of books on Viking legends and myths. I love reading about Odin and Thor and all those Viking gods and all that. And I guess recently you have Gustav Adolphson, and he was quite the guy. But yeah, most of my knowledge of Scandinavian history is Viking based. WeRab asks, what made you start making YouTube videos? I already answered that question. And finally, Cap M Filmed asks, where is the new video? Here it is. So, this is a long video. That's your fault. And I'm gonna see you guys later. And you tell me, guys, what you're planning to do for Halloween, and that's that. Have you guys seen these movies that I... Where'd those movies go? Whatever. I'll see you guys later. And, tell me about your Halloween costumes, too. And, au revoir.